Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for Sage5.tv, and welcome to our 15K to 600K portfolio, the portfolio we put together for the bear market. And some people start thinking maybe we're back in a bear market now because of the way things are developing, especially the past week or so has been extremely challenging. And we know what happened, and the altcoin market got decimated. I mean, the whole crypto market got decimated. What I don't get though is some of these things that are happening with tariffs, or what's that got to do with crypto? Just human emotions, isn't it? But there you go. Maybe I'm missing something here. Anyway, so in this video, we'll be giving you an update to our 15K to 600K portfolio and just making some comparisons and share with you guys where things are, and also share with you where we think we are within this crypto cycle. Are we in a bear market now? The bear market started? Is the bull market continuing? That's what we'll share with you towards the end. But before we jump into that, guys, this information contained in this video is not financial advice. Please do your own research, and this content is not targeting UK audiences. And for those who are not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Even if you don't intend on coming back, just please try and support us. We've been one of the few consistent channels here. We turn up, share with you guys our thoughts. You may not agree with them all the time. Sometimes you may come across something you'll agree with, and it is that content that we want to share with other people. And some people might be interested in stuff you're not interested in. So please do consider subscribing to our channel, and now and then like our videos. Again, all those things are free. It's not taking away your livelihood, your survival. Just like and move on. As soon as you click like and subscribe, you'll probably forget about it, but that's what it's all about. So the assets we've got in this portfolio, the 15K to 600K portfolio, is from 6 blockchains or ecosystems in Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Cosmos ecosystem, Avalaunch, and another category we call mixed portfolio, where anything from anywhere else goes. And the objective was to invest, when we started, and was to invest about $2,500 into each of these crypto baskets, as we call them, and then manage that portfolio all the way up to 600K once fully allocated. And the way things are developing at the moment, the whole thing about saying such a thing, especially where we are. It's almost like we are back in a bear market. I mean, the price is close, but the cycle is somewhere else. So we're still following the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. What has changed and all that? You want to know a little bit about that? Please wait until the end, where I will share with you my thoughts of where I think we are in this cycle and whether we are still following the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. So to kick us off is Ethereum, where we hold 3 positions, and as you can see, they are all down, averaging 30.2% down over the previous week or so, and the portfolio is now valued at $366.14 and is down over the previous update by 30.2%. Overall, we are now 64.7% down. And then over in Cardano, we hold 5 positions, and those 5 positions on average, they drop about 30%, and that portfolio is now valued at $1,556.14, having invested approximately $2,500 throughout the bear market. So overall, we are now down 38.5%. So they could say it's probably one of the less affected ecosystems, Cardano that is, or you could say some of our entry prices were better than the other baskets, but that's where we are. And the worst affected in that group is over the previous week or so, it's World Mobile token and the WMTX token, which is down by 32%. But overall, the worst affected is Lenify, which has collapsed. I think that was a rug by the team, because I can't see this coming back. If we move on to Polkadot, the picture is even more grim, and you got 2 survivals, and even those 2 survivals, out of the 4 that we started with, those 2 survivals, they are probably on their last leg. They may not come back to where we thought they would get to, or where they were in the previous cycle. That just is a sign of how things move in crypto. And if teams are relying on max extraction, enriching themselves, not actually thinking through, especially on the tokenomics front, because I think that's what has played a havoc with the likes of Moonbeam network and the Glimmer token, because there is maximum extraction happening with that project. That's my point of view. And then Bit.Country, it went a long time ago. The team, they accumulated a lot of funds during the last cycle, and I think like most projects, it was all about enriching themselves. So we are where we are, and the Polkadot ecosystem is almost dead. So in that basket, I think it's only Moonbeam left. The other 3, talking of Bit.Country, Pioneer, and the NEAR token, RMRK, and NEARProtocol, and Kill token, change contract now. It's been a shamble, Polkadot. But we'll do a reflection of these positions when we get to the bear market. Reflect so that we can learn from some of the mistakes. But Polkadot overall, it's been a disappointment as an ecosystem. So this is actually the worst basket, which is down by 95.5%. I mean, if you move on to Cosmos ecosystem, showed a lot of strength during the early parts of the bull market, but it's just gone down like crazy, because even the Atom coin itself is the one that wigged all the way down to less than a penny. You could say it was an issue with our oracles, with exchanges and stuff, and we'll try and do a video on that as well, trying to cover and share our views and maybe provide some clarity on what I think happened there and who benefited. And it's been a common theme during this cycle, where mostly bad players doing crazy things just to maximum extract value from the ecosystem everything. Some people were crazy, jumping up and down. Oh, Trump and his favorite policies for crypto. But if you actually look at it closely, the critical, you could actually say it was probably the worst thing to happen to crypto. We could have been in a different situation if it was, say, the previous administration. That's crazy to say, because with Gensler and the like, yes, we were always being suppressed and bullied and stuff, but at least the liquidity was not all the time, but most of the time was staying in. Because if you look at what just happened now, oh God, with the collapse of the altcoin market last week over what happened with centralized exchanges and stuff, and then the liquidations, and I honestly think exchanges are not telling us everything. I think we probably lost multiples of what was lost during the FTX collapse as well as the Luna collapse. I think we lost a lot more, including all the hackers, exploiting protocols and bridges. I think this time around we lost a lot. If it wasn't because of where we are with institution stuff, this could have been the start of a bear market, if you ask me. But those are just my own thoughts. So coming back to Cosmos ecosystem, across the board, we lost on average about 30%. You got EVMOS, we know that's gone because the team ragged on that. Injective, the last promising project within Cosmos, it was down by 31.3%. And Persistence and Axelar, they're just bleeding in their own way. And I think Persistence is heading towards the exit as well. Axelar down 47.4%, is still respected. Osmosis down 88.5%. That's, you could say, down 74.9% or 74.9% Osmosis, that is. You could turn around and say probably value, but with where things are and what's happening within the Cosmos ecosystem, it's hard to classify that as good value at 75% down from our enterprises during the bear market. And the enterprise was approximately 49%. Now we're sitting at 12.3 cents. Anyway, so that's Cosmos, and that basket this week is valued at $1,223.04, which is down quite a bit. Then we move on to the mixed portfolio where we hold 4 positions: NEARProtocol, Pythnetwork, Beam, and Shrapnel. Shrapnel has been long gone because that's gaming, has been affected badly. And Beam, that's the one that surprised me because I thought it had a lot of potential in this because they are into so many things. I don't know whether teams selling their bags, preparing for the bear market, because with these teams, if you don't actually maximize any opportunity you get to put some funds on the side, when the bear market comes, it will be curtains. So it's the same for exchanges. So you could turn around and say what happened with the exchanges last week or so was part of that. And they're trying to build a nest egg so that when things go down south, they've got something to fall back on. That happens across the board because when if you look at Shrapnel, us saying it's down 1.1% over the last 2 weeks, it's meaningless because where was it? What had happened? It's down 97%. So yeah, the best performing within that basket last week was Near, which is down 22.7% and 33% down overall. So that's the best. And that basket overall lost 30.8%. Portfolio is now valued at $557.41, down 71% overall. And finally, you've got Avalaunch, where we hold 3 positions in AVAX, Joe, and Zava for Avalaunch. And within that, average losses 30.6%, and they are all very close to that. And the best performing within that basket will be AVAX, which is now sitting at 50.1% up overall. The worst is Joe, down 71.2%. Once promising DEX for Avalaunch and the cross-chain DEX. Zava, the launchpad, up 13.6%. So overall, the best performing is still remains Injective, the best performing asset at 105.6%. But even that is starting to feel the pressure. And then followed by, I think it's AVAX, is it AVAX or Cardano? One of those. It's Cardano, then Injective, then AVAX, World Mobile Token, and finally Zava. So you could say the best performing assets have been the popular layer ones and some popular projects like your Injective, Cardano, Avalaunch. Those has been, and World Mobile Token, strong projects, and they've been, the returns are still holding. So overall, our portfolio is now valued at $5,571.70, down 30.1% over the previous week or two. Overall, it's now down 51.5% because last week was a catastrophe for the altcoin market, which means now, considering the profits we took from Pythnetwork earlier in the bull market, our portfolio is down minus $5,216.85 or 45.3% down. So that is some decrease from where we are. So our portfolio is now worth just more than half of what it was when we first created this portfolio based on where we are now. And we are still sitting at 11,482.67 cents invested, but the balance is now $5,571.70. Some people say, oh, you still got something, take it all out and do XYZ. I'm thinking, look, if it's all gonna go to zero, let it go to zero. That's what happens in crypto. I don't think we are. I think we are still in a bull cycle, and I think there's been a lot of shenanigans, a lot of players, not good players at all. We've been mass extracting value from the ecosystem. And I'm talking of, if you want to be blunt, Trump and his family, they've not been good for crypto. If anything, they've been in decimating the ecosystem and enriching their bags, because most of what they're doing, they came with nothing and they are living with billions, and they're making a killing, because there is also the so-called insider trading, where people will have information before anyone else, trade on it few minutes or seconds before the information is made public, and then they cash out. But I still had the question though, where if everyone else was liquidated, their shorts and longs both at once, why was this person who was trading and made a lot of money on Hyperliquid not liquidated? If both sides were liquidated in equal measure, no, it wasn't equal, because longs got decimated more than shorts, but everything got decimated. I don't know. We'll do another video where we are looking at what actually happened, doing some investigation to see what actually happened there. But at the moment, it's not looking pretty for crypto. I still think we are in a bull cycle. It's just one of those things. We were due one of these massive drawdowns. I think centralized exchanges instigated this for one reason or another. Whatever the reason, it was in bad faith. I don't think it was for good reasons. Someone did a bad job, or someone did us a job on. I don't think it was fair what they did. But this is what happened. For those who lost money, I can only feel for you. Leverage trading is never an option one should go to by default. Any thoughts, guys? Let us know in the comment section. Do you think we're still in a bull market? I think we are still in a raging bull market. The last few weeks or few months are still in front of us. That's what I think. So if you are still around, hang in there. If you can, if you still got liquidity, keep accumulating. As for us, we are still here and we are still looking for positive. Whether clutching the straws or not, that's where we are. That's the mentality we enter the market with, to the moon or to zero. Any thoughts? Let us know in the comment section. Until the next one, bye for now.